Hey creatives! Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a very simple September bullet journal setup that requires absolutely no drawing, so it's definitely a theme that anyone can recreate. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is take my mild liner highlighter in the color beige, and I'm gonna use this to create a border all around the page, and I find that this is a really great way for you to add a little bit of color, especially if you're going for a minimalist cover page. I also find that adding a border is such an easy way to make your cover page look a lot more elegant, and it also helps to draw in all of the focus into the design in the middle, even if you have a very minimalist design. Now, when it comes to actually filling in what's inside the center of the border, what I'm gonna do is take my Muji pen in the size 0.5 and I'm gonna just write out the month and also the calendar within that space in the middle. Now, a really great way that I like to decorate my bullet journal instead of drawing is to actually use a set of stamps. So these stamps that I'm using is gonna be from the brand Stationery Pal. I just really love this stamp because it just looks so beautiful and elegant, and it actually just takes 2 seconds for me to get the designs onto my bullet journal. So if you're like me and you're completely behind on your September bullet journal setup, stamps are a really great way for you to decorate your journal without even having to draw at all. And a lot of the tools that I'm gonna be using in this September bullet journal setup is actually from Stationery Pal, so I'm gonna make sure everything is linked in the description down below, and you can actually use the code JWNadia to also save on your next Stationery Pal order. Now, moving on to the next page in our September bullet journal setup, the next thing that I'm gonna do is create a one-page monthly log. So what I'm gonna do is create the same exact border that I did for the cover page. I just like to have the border side by side because I find that it just makes it look symmetrical and it makes everything looks really cohesive. And once I'm done creating the border, I'm just gonna go on and create a little monthly calendar inside that border. Now, one of the reasons why I really wanted to go for a very simple and minimal look this month is because I went on a couple of trips in the summer and I've just been super behind it with my bullet journal ever since, and I feel like I haven't been able to catch up, and so that's why I feel like having a simple layout is gonna be able to save me some time and help me be able to catch up in the following months. And I know that the term minimalist and simple can mean different things to different people, so I'd really love to hear what you feel as a minimalist bullet journal layout. Is it one that doesn't have any drawings? Is it one that doesn't have any stickers? Or is it one that doesn't even have any colors? So let me know in the comments down below what you feel is a minimalist bullet journal layout, and if you even consider this September bullet journal setup to be a minimalist theme. And to complete the monthly log, I also want to use the same stamp that I did for my cover page, but I wanted it to look a little bit different. So what I did is that after I put the stamp in the ink pad, I'm actually going to take a separate piece of paper and just blot out the ink that was on the hand portion of the stamp. And so that way, when I actually put the stamp down on my bullet journal, it's only going to capture all of the moon and star designs into this page. So if you have some stamps lying around but you only want to use a portion of the stamp design, then this is a really simple trick that you can also try in your bullet journal, and it's also a really simple way for you to get a lot more variety with the same stamps that you already have. Now, the next page that I'm going to create for my September bullet journal setup is going to be my habit trackers. And something that I really want to do for the September setup is going to have a Dutch door so that a portion of my habit tracker is going to be visible throughout the month. And something that I started doing last month was to actually track how I spent my days. And so I downloaded an app on my phone called Toggle. And basically what you do is you just start a timer every time you start a new task. And then at the end of the day, week, or month, you can actually pull up a little report where you could see exactly how you spent your time, and just being able to have that breakdown of how I spent my time was really eye-opening. And so I really wanted to just take that further into my bullet journal so that it's always visible for me throughout the month as well. And so the 3 categories that I really want to focus on for this month is going to be balancing between my content, personal development, so this can include anything like going to the gym or reading, and also relationships, so anything like family and friends as well. And I'm gonna use 3 different different colors so that I could see everything all in one graph. And now for the rest of the habit trackers, I'm just gonna go with a very simple calendar outline, and then I'm gonna be able to make an X or color in the different squares on the days where I've completed the habits. And I'm curious to know what habits you're currently focusing on for the month of September. One of the biggest habits that I really want to focus on this month is actually to declutter more. So I've been really fascinated with the minimalism lifestyle lately, and I've been really wanting to get into it more and more. And the other day, my older sister showed me a Facebook group where I can give away any free things that I'm not using in my local city, and it's been such a great way for me to declutter all of the items that I no longer use. And it's really a win-win for everyone, because instead of me just throwing away all of these items back into the garbage, somebody else can find a new life for it and really enjoy the items that I wasn't really gonna use anyways. And so my big focus for the month of September is to declutter at least one item a day. And I'd really love to hear if you have any goals or habits that you really want to focus on for the month of September. And to decorate the page, I also got some washi tapes from Stationery Pal. I got this beige one and this white grid one, and I find that they just pair really well together, and so I'm gonna use that to decorate the bottom of the page. Now, the next page that I'm gonna create for my September bullet journal setup is going to be my goals page, and this is where I'm gonna start creating my Dutch door pages. Now, if you're not familiar with the term Dutch door, basically it's where you cut a portion of your bullet journal page to reveal the pages that is underneath it. And if you want more examples of this, I have a completely different video on just Dutch doors on its own, but basically I'm gonna be using that for the month of September so that the first habit tracker that I created is going to be visible for me throughout the month. And I really hope I'm not alone in this, but one of my biggest challenges when it comes to setting goals for myself is that I always fall into the trap of setting too many goals for myself and then feeling really upset at the end of the month because I wasn't able to achieve all of these goals that I set for myself, which are really unrealistic. And so for this month, I really wanted to focus on setting realistic goals for myself, and I wanted to focus on only having 3 goals maximum. And another challenge that I have with goal setting is that sometimes I forget about the initial goal that I set for myself at the beginning of the month, and because I forgot about it, obviously I didn't make any actions that made progress, and so I didn't achieve the goal. And so what I wanted to do for this month is I wanted to create a spread where I could track my progress. And so instead of just writing the goal as is, I wanted to create a little progress bar for each goal. That way it's gonna motivate me to come back to the spread, and being able to see the progress bar is also gonna be able to motivate me in achieving my goals as well. And for the rest of the goals page, I'm gonna make it really simple, but I just want it to be a space where I can capture down some of my thoughts throughout the month. I find that this is also a really great way for me to write down any of the challenges and wins that I came across throughout the month. Sometimes when we make a goal, we might not realize all of the challenges that might come with that goal, and so I really want this to be a place where I can document all of that and also make note of what I can do for the following months now that I know about all of these new challenges or wins. And just so you guys could see what it looks like when we create more Dutch doors in our bullet journal, I'm gonna show you my first weekly spread for this month so that you can see how it's gonna look like after we created multiple Dutch doors. So as you can see, I'm just gonna cut a portion of my bullet journal page as well, and I'm gonna cut it at the same exact width that I did from the previous page. And I'm also gonna just take my paper rounder to round off the edges just to give it a really cute and consistent look throughout the whole month. And once I'm done creating the Dutch door, I'm just gonna go ahead and create my weekly spread, and I'm just gonna go with a super simple layout where I'm gonna divide it into 6 equal sections. And to decorate it even more, I'm gonna use my beige mild liner that I used from the cover page, and I'm also gonna use this set of circle stickers that I also got from Stationery Pal. And so I'm just gonna put a little circle between each rectangle, and then this is gonna be a really great place for you to write down the date of each day of the week as well. And I don't know if you guys also use tweezers to put stickers into your bullet journal, but this was my first time trying it out, and not gonna lie, I felt super fancy doing it, even though I'm just putting stickers and it's something that is super simple. So if you ever wanted to feel a little extra fancy one day, I definitely recommend trying to put stickers by using tweezers in your journal. And to finish off my weekly spread, I'm just gonna make a little section for a weekly goal, and I'm also gonna make another section for notes as well. And to top it all off, I also wanted to decorate it with some of the stationery that I got from Stationery Pal. And so I'm going to be using the 2 grid washi tapes that you already saw me use before. But I'm also super excited to use this other washi tape that I got from Stationery Pal. It's basically a washi tape full of different coffee stamp stickers. And oh my god, I'm totally obsessed with coffee and iced coffee. And so I definitely knew that when I saw this washi tape that it was definitely made for me. And so I really wanted to make sure that I use it in my bullet journal as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this simple September bullet journal setup that didn't use any drawings at all. And I know that the term simple and minimalist can mean different things to different people. And so I'm curious to know what minimalism means to you in the comments down below. And if you don't want to fall behind on your bullet journal setup like I did, then make sure to watch this video next where you can get a lot of ideas for minimalist setups for your weekly spreads.